This is the beginning of the story of Baucis and Philemon from Ovid's Metamorphoses. This is in Book 8 of the Metamorphoses. And it begins on 616, and so we will go from there to 625. As with most of these stories, and of course this picks up in the middle, or at least well towards the end of Book 8, and other stories are being told, being narrated. And so um, this story is being told by these people that are in a cave, being sheltered from a flood, and someone has just talked, and people are shocked at what they've heard, and so you have a somewhat programmatic transition to a new story here. So you guys that have read the Aeneid, in Book 2, it starts out "Con tequera omnes," and they all fell silent as Aeneas starts his story of the fall of Troy and then his wandering that got him to Carthage. Here, they all were stunned, and they didn't approve, nec probarunt, and they didn't approve of such words. And then ante omnes goes together. So, and Lelex, in front of everybody, mature in his mind and in his age, thus said, immense is, it is immense, and the power of the sky doesn't have an end. So the power of the sky is immense, is vast, and does not have an end. And whatever those above, so the gods, wanted, and so here we have another syncopation in the same manner that we had up here. This really should be obstipue runt, and this is volue runt. So whatever the gods wanted was done, has been done. This is a relative clause of purpose, and the quo here is a little problematic, I think, for most Latin students. What basically we're going to say is by which you would doubt less. And so let's go pick up this, and then we'll talk about that again. So an oak tree bordering a linden tree, so right next to a linden tree. Circum data est was surrounded in the Phrygian hills by a modest wall. And so there's a really beautiful synchesis here, interlocking word order, that you could argue is a word picture, because that everything is sort of surrounded by something else here in the Phrygian hills. And back up here, the better translation probably would be so that you would doubt it less. An oak tree bordering on a linden tree in the Phrygian hills was surrounded by a modest or a low wall. So ipse is the intensive reflexive, and the subject here is I, right? So I myself saw this place. For Pythias sent me into the Pelopian fields, so the fields of Pelops, once ruled by his father, and his father being Pelops. So Pythias me misit, sent me in Arwa Pelopeia into the fields of Pelops, once ruled by his father. Not far, Haud Procul, not far from this place is a swamp, a stagnum, a marsh, once a habitable land, and now thick or packed with, and then we get some vocabulary here. Mergis are seabirds, mergus, mergi, seagulls, and fulicis palustribus, and so marshy or swampy, essentially ducks, waterfowls. and then Calabrese modifies unda or undai here. So the waters are packed with these marshy ducks and these seabirds or these seagulls.